Hello everyone and welcome to another installment of BathroomBrews. While the spoiler season is in full swing for the new Fallout decks, I wanted to get back to basics with an oldie but a goodie. So today, I present to you Zur the Enchanter. But instead of building a normal enchantment-based deck, my friend took this commander and built a powerful cycling deck, so I took his list and I budgified it. The best cycling enchantments turn out to be 3 mana, so why not run a tutor from the command zone? And the best part? The deck can function without Zur. However, it does help a ton. So without further ado, let's get into it. I would normally start off with the ramp, but there's only 2 ramp cards in the deck, Arcane Signet and Sol Ring. That's it. No signets or no talismans. The deck doesn't actually need to ramp to function. Most of the deck is 3 mana or less, so it's more important to hit your land drops, which is where all the land cyclers come in. In total, there are 11 cards that have some form of land cycling on them. The new Lord of the Ring cyclers with Eagles of the North, Troll of Khazad-dûm, and Lorien Revealed. But my favorite land cyclers are Jessian Zombie and Sanctum Plowbeast. Not only do they have gorgeous art, but they can fix for 2 different lands. As for the mana base, it is mostly tapped. This is because we want to load up on as many lands with basic land types as possible so we can fix our mana easily. We have all of the Dominaria United and Kaldheim common lands, along with Ravine's Tower. If you want to improve the mana base, I would add the new Surveil lands, and of course the Shock lands. Lands with types are important, so I'd be hesitant to cut them for untapped lands. As I mentioned at the start of the video, the best cycling enchantments are 3 mana or less. These would be Crystalline Resonance, Astral Slide, and Astral Drift. Both Slide and Drift help protect our creatures from removal, and let you remove problematic creature tokens, while Crystalline Resonance becomes a copy of any permanent on the battlefield. Usually, you want it to become a copy of your win conditions, which we'll cover later on in this video. But we also have New Perspectives, Drakehaven, and Faith of the Devoted to round out the enchantment cycling support. The cycling creatures in the deck provide a wide range of utility. There is Cloud of Fairies, which is a pseudo-ritual if we can reduce the cycling cost. Archfiend of Ifnir, this is a massacre worm at home in this deck. And Herald of the Forgotten is a way to get all of your cycling permanents back into play from the graveyard. I thought about swapping Herald out for Living Death, but because it also gets our lands back, I think this is much better in the deck. One of the budget cards I added was Jo Grant, which gives historic cards cycling, and she grows as we cycle. There's also the Ikoria cycling payoffs with Valiant Rescuer and Flourishing Fox. And then finally, we have Fluctuator, which reduces the cycling cost by 2 mana, making most of this deck free to cycle, and then Shadow of the Grave. This is a 2 mana instant that will return all of the cards we discarded or cycled in our turn back to our hand. This is also cute tech if you have a Tergrid or Tiny Bones in your playgroup. Because cycling is technically us discarding, we can include some unique payoffs that you don't see too often, unless you have an Anji Falconwrath at your table. There is Dying to Serve, which makes a tap 2/2 once a turn whenever we discard a card, so we can cycle and then just make a tap 2/2. It's slow, but people usually don't go after it. An underrated card in my opinion is Containment Construct. This is an artifact creature that will let you play cards you cycle away on the same turn. So if you cycle away Rafine's Tower, you can still play that land. And finally, Bone Miser. This is a waste not, but for us. This is arguably the best creature in the deck, and it improves the winning conditions of the deck, which again we'll get to later on. It's also a wizard, so we can use Step Through or Vidalcan Aether Mage as a way to wizard cycle for it. The draw support shouldn't be that surprising. We have Ominous Seas to create 8/8 Krakens when we draw enough cards, and Alhemmer's Archive to double up on card draw whenever we cycle. What kind of Esper deck would we be without interaction? In total, we have 13 spells that can remove pesky permanents, protect our key creatures, or just counter spells. Nimble Obstructionist can counter abilities we don't control, and it replaces itself. One of my favorite board wipes, Decree of Pain. You can either cycle it to clear out a bunch of tokens or low-powered creatures, or just hardcast it to draw approximately 1,000,000 cards. And one of the most obscure pieces of interaction, but one of my favorites, is Power Taint. This enchantment will have you enchant another enchantment, and it slowly chips away at someone's life or forces them to pay 2 each upkeep. The primary winning condition of this deck revolves around 2 key enchantments, Mystic Redaction and Psychic Corrosion. Both enchantments act as mill engines to rip apart our opponent's deck. I think Mystic Redaction is better because it works when we cycle any card, even land cycling, but either one of these will allow you to end the game pretty quick. To help speed up that process, we have Copy Enchantment and Mirror Maid. These, along with Crystalline Resonance, can mill players between 6 and 8 cards each time you cycle. The best part is Zur can tutor these win conditions directly into play, so be on the lookout for instant speed wins with this deck. My friend has won games with removal on the stack, so don't be afraid to just go for it. And finally, let's talk upgrades. The appeal of this deck is that aside from the 6 cards I cut to make this a budget list, 3 of which were lands, the deck is pretty cheap. However, if you want to add some additional upgrades, these are the 3 I would suggest. Laboratory Maniac and Thassa's Oracle, because they're backup win conditions for the deck, while Estrid's Invocation is a more expensive copy enchantment. I would probably cut Joe Grant and Dying to Serve to add Labman and Thassa's. But like I said at the start of the video, Surveil and Shocklands would be the biggest upgrade to the deck in my opinion. As always, this list and my friend's list will be in the video description below, so make sure to check those out and give this video a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and also consider signing up to be a channel member. You get some great perks for as low as $1.99 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. Alrighty everyone, we'll see you next time.